Well, I'm finally getting around to doing a video on the Equinox EV that I bought last summer, and I've put around almost 5,000 miles on it. I don't drive very much. I don't drive the Pro all that much, and I don't drive the Equinox all that much. But anyway, I'm going to make an all-encompassing video now that talks about a trip, the range value that I'm seeing in the EQ, and also some things that I really like about the car, and some things that I wish GM would have uh, considered and possibly reconsider moving forward as they build out the EQ. So, first of all, I did well, more than half of these, the miles that I have on this car are all extended highway miles. I did a trip in the fall in November to pick up some puppies that out to Reno, and I did, let's see, I did almost 2,100 miles, and I had a range going out of 3.2 and a range coming back 3.0. And it was interesting because with the Ford, my videos on the Ford Pro, I talk a lot about wind direction, wind speed, and that sort of thing. And that's very true for the EQ as well. Going out, I knew, and the reason I drove the days that I did was because there were two big lows off the coast of California and Oregon, and they hadn't come on shore, and they weren't expected to come on shore for about 4 or 5 days, and which ultimately really did affect the wind and the temperature and everything, going across I-80. But I was already home by then, so I didn't care what the weather was doing. A lot of rain, a lot of snow, and that sort of thing. But I hit it at just the right time because I watched the weather. And so I had the wind direction off those lows off the coast. I had a cross tailwind, somewhat of a tailwind going out most of the way because 80 is, with a little exception in Nevada, 80 is almost straight east-west. And so I've got the car on, so I've got some stuff coming in. But anyway, the wind flow was almost across tailwind going out, and then coming back. Still, the wind was circulating in a counterclockwise direction, coming from the south, and so that helped in Nevada with the way I-80 goes. But getting into Wyoming, and the wind started to shift a bit and become more of a headwind, or a cross headwind. And then certainly coming south between 80 and back to Boulder on I-25, it was a bit windy. But I thought the car overall did really well. I was very pleased with it, and so forth. Now, as everybody knows, I don't think too many, if any, of these all-electric vehicles have a spare tire, and certainly this one doesn't. I had my first bad experience. I was in a line of probably 15 or 20 cars heading back to my house. I was within a mile of the house, and for some reason, the left rear tire chose to contact a spike in the road I'm not sure where it came from. I'm not sure where it went because it just stabbed the tire and left. But anyway, I had a flat tire within a mile of the house and had to wait about 90 minutes for the tow truck to get me. And so I started looking for rims. They're expensive for this car. And to get the same rims that I have on here. They're expensive, but I did find somebody in Southern California with a set of 4 rims. I only really wanted one to use as a spare when I needed it. But anyway, he gave me a really good deal, and he's to be commended for that. And so I bought the set of 4. I mounted the tire that I was able to have fixed at my local shop. These guys do a great job, and the hole was in the second from the outside layer of tread, and it was a pretty good size hole. They put 2 plugs in and then a patch on the inside, and so it would hold. If I needed something in an emergency, I'm not going to leave it on the car like that. So I bought a new tire, and only indications was that at about 4,000 miles on the car at the time, that there wasn't a lot of difference in wear, and so I just put the new tire on, and then we'll rotate and so forth. So I really like how this car rides. It doesn't ride as well as the Ford Pro, but then not too many things do. But it is a very comfortable ride. I had 3 4-month-old labs in the back, as well as a career change dog that weighed about, I think she weighs in the upper 40s. So I had 4 dogs in the back. They were in 3 small wire foldable crates, and then the career change had the rest of the room she could stretch out and so forth. So the back was packed, but there was plenty of room. It wasn't like I was really needing space. I had plenty of room for the puppy's gear and so forth. So that was I've done this same trip with ICE vehicles like a RAV4, and I can't remember what else I've done. But all SUVs of around this same size as the EQ, and I had more space in the EQ. Now you can look it up for yourself to see what the difference is between the RAV4 and a few of the others in this space. I think I had a Ford SUV that I took out as well. But nonetheless, the way the space is configured and so forth, I had plenty of room that I did not have in some of the others, which was a real treat. So, and it's quite an adventure having 3 and 4 dogs, 4-month-old puppies who need to get out and go potty every couple of 100 miles. And so it's an adventure, that's for sure. Okay, so speaking from behind the camera, I like the display. It's nice and large, and I keep the map and my Sirius channel going. I don't do auto play or from Google. I don't have an Apple phone or anything like that, so I'm just kind of old school with a satellite. So it's not really old school, but anyway. And of course, here's my setup with current trip data on the left. I've changed that a few times, and this is what I'm currently using, and I think I'm going to stick with it because it helps me out. It gives me what my range is, so if I'm getting into headwinds or cross tailwinds and noticing a nice and pleasant increase in range, or a concern about a decrease in range, then there we are. So, the view is of all the equipment and everything is nice. I like the control of the sound on the back of the steering wheel. It's the same on all the GMs. I have it on my Silverado. And then the cruise control over here. I have to learn to turn off the lane positioning like I do with my Ford when I use the control, and or I set the speed and that sort of thing. One of the things that I do not like about this truck or this car is the size of the rearview mirrors. There's been two occasions, one out on the highway heading into Nevada, ran into some traffic, and then going into town in Boulder here in a multiple lane traffic. It sometimes does not pick up the vehicle that is hidden by the bar here, and so a quick glance into the mirror, you think, okay, well, there's nothing there, and yet if the vehicle is a little above or below that area, what I need to do is learn to move my head up and down if I'm in more traffic than because I kind of rely on the little notification light on the outside of the mirror saying me, oh, there's something there, but it doesn't always pick it up. And so I wish the mirror was about 3/4 of an inch or maybe an inch wider, top to bottom. But it is what it is, and so I've had to change my move my head around a lot more in this car than I do in my other vehicles, or other vehicles that I've owned as well. Controls, like when I've stopped to charge along the highways at night, I'll have a free or sometimes a very inexpensive level 2 charger, and so I'll pull in at 11 o'clock, and I want to take a nap and rest a little bit, and then go on. The first time I did it, I thought, wait a minute, I can't turn the headlights off. And so anyway, it caught me by surprise. So you have to, you don't have a switch for the headlight. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, you have to go here, controls, more controls, lights, and headlights off. So because if I've parked at a roadside area, or someplace in town where there is a level 1 charger, and I'm going to be there for 3 or 4 hours. I don't want my headlights on. It's annoying to others and annoying to me. So, but I don't know why GM couldn't just put a switch in like everybody else, and so you can control your headlights. That's probably the most annoying thing about this car. Okay, so perhaps my favorite part of this car, the favorite action of this car, is the one pedal drive. And so that's this button right here. And just press that. You can set it up. There's lots of videos about how you want to set it up. I have it on about a medium reaction. And of course, as I pull in and out of the garage, I just punch the button there, turns it off, pull into the garage. When I back out, then push that back on, because it does take a little bit of accelerator pedal to get it to unlock the brake and let you take off. So pulling in and out of the garage, I find, is much easier if I just turn that off. But yeah, that's a nice feature. I really like that, and allows me to drive with one pedal, and I hardly ever touch the brake as I'm driving around town. And certainly if I'm out on the highway, it just slows me down gradually as I get to an exit ramp. And so yeah, I'm glad that's an option. One pedal drive works a lot better on the Chevy than it does on my Ford Lightning. The Lightning, it's technically not a one pedal drive, and you have to re-engage it all the time when you turn the vehicle, start the vehicle. But with this, once I put the setting on, for instance, if I punch this button here and I turn the vehicle off, I'll just open the door, and the car will restart and the button's on. So that's handy when I'm out running errands and so forth. I don't have to remember to turn it on. So I wish that's a feature that my Ford had. But anyway, okay, let's go on with the next part of the video. It's the camping mode that the Ford and Tesla and a lot of other EVs have. And this is a workaround for the EQ. With the vehicle off, leave the door open, press on the accelerator 3 times, and then press once on the brake, which turns the car on, and that overrides the vehicle until you shift from park. Now, with the Ford, and I'm not sure about the other cars, but with my Pro, that override stays intact until I've turned the vehicle off. And so with this, if I'm at a level 2 charger and I want to, I've figured out how to turn the headlights off and that sort of thing at night, but I want to leave the car running for a couple of hours to maintain the climate, then without having to restart the car all the time, then I have to go through this workaround. And then if the charger quits, which is what has happened to me before, I have to move spots and locations going down the road to another level 2, or switch bays or whatever I have to do, then I have to go through the workaround all over again, because I've moved it from park into drive or reverse, and that stops the override. It's so ridiculous. You know, it's small things like that, but still, I mean, come on, GM. You know, let's not make this more difficult than it really needs to be. So anyway, that in a nutshell is my take on the EQ. Like I say, I've driven it. The majority of miles on this car are long highway miles of trips ranging in 400 to 2,200 miles, something like that. So it's performed really well. I got a deal on it in June, and I used a lot of the incentives that the state of Colorado and the feds offered at the time. And so for the price that I paid, I'm very happy. And it's performed well. I wish there was a place for the tire and three or four a spare tire and 3 or 4 puppies in the back, but there isn't. So I suppose I could add a trailer hitch, which this particular model did not have, but I could add that option and put a spare tire carrier on that 2-inch hitch in the back, but I don't know. You know, if I start having flat tires, then that's something that more flat tires than I've had, then that's something I might consider. But for now, or if I get stranded out in the Nevada or you know the Salt Lake, the Salt Flats, and have to wait for half a day for a tow, then yeah, I may be putting a tow hitch on and and a spare tire carrier, and then deal with the loss of range in order to carry a spare. But for now, okay. Thanks for watching.